Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the 10-minute morning. Today is November the 17th, 2021. And like I said, welcome to the 10-minute morning, brought to you by Beachside Burgers. Burgers are better at the beach. Also this week by a viewer, and they wanted me to wear a John Deere hat. So thank you very much to them. I appreciate it. If you are interested in doing some sponsorship, please get a hold of me. Rates are unbelievably cheap. Once we run out of sponsorship, we run out of shows. Talking about shows, who'd have thought we ever got to show number 42? 42. Thank you very much for that. Alrighty. Moving on to the weather. Well, at the dam here, the window weather right now says it's breezy because the curtain's moving on the inside of the house. It was flopping last night as the winds were very high. We had a blizzard-like condition. All the roads around in and out around Regina were closed. I'm not sure exactly how much snow we have. I'm not going to be able to tell till we get some daylight here. It's interesting. Sometimes it just doesn't take much to blow around and it causes all kinds of havoc. Roads, of course, have been wet, and then once they freeze, it causes treacherous conditions. Road 219 was not very good yesterday. So, wait until you can get confirmation on some travel. I know everybody's got to get to work. That's how the system works, or it's how it's supposed to work. But please be safe out there and give yourself a little bit extra time. Talking about weather. Them poor folks out in BC, they did get a little bit of weather. They got 250 plus millimeters of rain. Well, that's 25 centimeters, right? So that's 2 feet, right? If we do the illegal conversion from metric to imperial. Yeah, right, because here in Canada, we're always about the metric, unless you ask somebody how much they weigh. Or you go to buy meat, right? But we do use the metric system, which is a great system. So, 25 centimeters of rain. They've got mudslides going everywhere, and not the good ones you get at the bar. Roads are being washed out. That's going to be a mess. I don't know how many billions of dollars the infrastructure is going to be wiped out because of that. And what we would have given for a tenth of that over here this summer. Don't think, unfortunately, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think we're even going to get any of that. I don't think, unfortunately. All right, moving on. So sports action, we got provincial volleyball happening in this weekend in Lorbourn. I'm hoping to have an interview tomorrow with a representative of the Senior Girls Volleyball Club. So look forward to that dropping tomorrow. I hope we can get that done. In hockey news, SPHL is idle this week during the week. Most of the games take place on the weekend. But last night, interesting in the NHL, the Canadiens lost. They're on the verge of missing playoffs already. Who'd have thought? They were awful. I'd have thought it last year. I'm still reeling from my Leafs, who were bounced from the playoffs 3 straight by the Canadiens. They weren't bounced by the Canadiens. They were bounced by Carey Price. And those that have not lost a series to a hot goaltender have not played enough hockey. It's the way it works. The Flames also lost. Edmonton dropped one to the Jets, 5-3. Draisaitl with a couple. That guy's interesting to watch. I had the pleasure here not very long ago. The blade on his stick is like 2 inches longer than everybody else's. It's interesting. The Leafs. Oh my gosh, the Leafs. Oh, woe is me. 2 weeks ago, the Leafs were falling apart. Well, they won 9 out of their last 10 and are second in the division. Who'd have thought? Even with poor goaltending. Still think they shouldn't have got Freddie Anderson, but it's the way it is. All right, we're in hunting season. Haven't told the story for a little while. So, go back in the vault here. I'm going to go back to one of the first times when me and my brother and my dad all went hunting. We grew up down south on the prairie, and down there's not a lot of trees, right? And very much enjoyed hunting with my dad and my brother back in the day. It was always kind of special for me to take us out hunting. Dad ran his own business, and it took up a lot of his time. Not that we were ever neglected, don't want to make it sound like that, but I remember lots of times felt special. Dad was coming along when you weren't expected, whether it wasn't expected. But anyway, he said, we're going out hunting. So anyway, we get in the truck, me and my dad and my brother. It was one of the first times my brother had ever come along. He was about 4 years younger than us and just became legal. So I'd say he was about 12. But down there's not a lot of trees. It's all farmland and fairly flat. Not as flat as we were last weekend in Fox Valley, but it's pretty flat. But anyway, we get down there and it's wintertime. I remember there being just about like this, a little bit of snow on the ground. Just barely, ground wasn't quite frozen yet, I don't think. Anyway, there's not a lot of walking. You're not pushing a lot of bush because there's no bush to push. So you do a lot of hunting from a truck. You don't run them down, right? But you are legal back then to drive in the fields. We didn't do anything illegal, and it was all kosher, and that's all how it was done back then. And anyway, we finally get a deer, and we see a good one, or one we wanted, and we get it going, and it sees us, and it's diverting us, but we've got it kind of cornered. I don't remember if it was near, I want to picture in my mind there was a berm, but I don't remember any berms down there. There might be. But anyway, we got it kind of going in a direction we want. We're not putting the heat on it, but we're stalking this thing. Anyway, it takes off and it's about to make the corner. And if it gets around this corner, it's kind of going to be gone. So anyway, we speed up, and my brother's on the door, I'm in the middle, and my dad's driving. And I remember my dad saying, "Okay, when we get to this corner, Garney, you get out and shoot it." And I said my brother's name, doesn't matter. And all my brother heard was, "Get out and shoot it." And so we're clipping along, I don't know, 40 miles an hour, whatever we're doing. And I just remember looking over, and my brother's gone. And I turn around and look back, and I can still see these white coveralls and an orange toque, and he's completely upside down. The orange toque's at the bottom, and his boots are at the top. and he rolls around 2 or 3 times, and the gun, it's like a cartoon. The gun's stuck in the ground, and it's going boing like this. I remember my dad said, "Where did he go?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And so we stopped the truck, and it's just littered everything in the truck, and just the stream right back to my brother laying on the ground and the gun sticking in there. It was such a disaster. Even the deer stopped and looked at us and wondered what was going on. Anyway, time to get to work. Thanks for those that are able to join this early in the morning. Still looking for volunteers for volleyball for this weekend. So if you got an hour or two, you can work in a booth or Lions volleyball game, or come by and show some support. It'd be greatly appreciated. Time to get to work. Thanks for joining in.